All right, we're live this morning. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. We're like 10 minutes late. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to my brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Please continue to go over to Troy's channel and support his channel and help that brother to grow. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. You deserve respect. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody tuning in this morning. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. I will go back to the top and shout some people out individually before we get into our topics. But our topics this morning are simple. We have two. Ukraine is attacked by Russia. So Russia has officially attacked Ukraine, right? I see on social media there's a lot of panic going on, or a lot of fake panic going on. People are asking questions. Oh my God, if the US goes to war and instills the draft, are you going? If President Biden says you have to go to war, are you gonna go? That kind of stuff. People are picking sides. I'm staying out of this one. I'm riding with Ukraine. All kinds of stuff is being said. I want to know where you are with this and how you feel about this. I saw, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And the other thing we're going to talk about is a young man that went missing. One of my subscribers sent me this. Where is Decorrius Jones? I think that story this morning, the Decorrius Jones story, is going to be way more engaging for you than the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, right? This story, you don't want to miss the story. Bizarreness and craziness. And I can apologize from now for some of the language I'm going to be using, but it is all in the transcript and the excerpt. So if you have virgin ears, or if you woke up this morning as one of those people, then don't tune into that part of the show. Cuss words are going to be used. Not from me, but from the excerpt. Somebody is saying, who is that? It's a young man that went missing under bizarre circumstances after he had a fight with his family. His mom, he attacked his mother and he attacked his girlfriend, and he called the police and he ran off into the woods, and they haven't seen or heard from him again. And he's been missing for, I believe, since 2016, right? So but they just resurrected the whole story and they're looking for him, trying to locate him. The mother hasn't found him yet. She does not believe that he's dead. She believes he's out there somewhere. But the details of the story is what's going to get you. And there's a message in it, of course, for all of us, right? All right. So let me go back to the top real quick. Greetings. You ain't nobody. Hey, big up yourself. Or Rush Jada is bigging up Craig and Bailey. Big up yourself, family, and thank you for being here. So, Lady Merlina, good morning. Thank you for being here. The first one in this morning. I appreciate you greatly. Miss Goldie Robinson is in the building. Good morning, SouFLo and the family. Up, and blessings. Asarin Odetha is here. Kerry Ann Jones is here. Mellow Beth is here. Did anybody watch Snowfall? Or is it Snow? Yes. Did anybody watch Snowfall last night? I didn't. Mellowbeth is in the building. Thank you, Mellowbeth, for being here. Kitty Jai Empress is here. Theresa Lewis is here. Lisa Marie Chin King is here. Kitty Jai Empress, your name takes kind of a getting used to. I'm sure I say it different every single time I say it. Doc 65, up. Caribbean Queen is in the building. Andrea Humphrey is here. Craig Bailey, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. King Biggs there. Rosalind Smichael is in the building. Rika Lou, good morning. Thank you for being here. Polly Girl is here. Jet Shelley is here. Steve Wright is here. Marlene Grant is here. Darlene Walter Riley, big up yourself and thank you for being here. Seneca Soudad is here. Craiger Bailey again, big up yourself. Roxanne McIntosh is here. Good morning, SouFLo and the family. Gaza Problem Entertainment up in the building this morning. Stacy Bless Kitchen is in the building this morning. Marlene SG is here. Lady J is in the building. Sasha Oliver, Miss Sharon, Ingrid Jarrett is here. Vicky Victory. Haven't seen that name in a while. I hope all is well with you. All right. Lisa Marie Chinking is in the building. And Karen Mason. Couple more names. Senior Sexy. Senior and Sexy. It's my stop because next thing I want, man. I'm there romanticize your name about Senior Sexy. All right. Senior Sexy is in the building. Going right through on to the next name. Sonia Campbell is in the building. Darren Brandon 305. Big up yourself. June O'Brien. Arlene Clark. Marcus and Anthony Bearer and So Fine. Ingrid Jarrett and Militant One is here. Militant One says, good morning, SouFLo. Blessings every time. Here in the UK, Great Britain. Big up yourself and shout out to all tuning in, my Canadian family links and my UK family links. Big up on yourself. All right. So where do we where do we start? You have to be careful with them name here. You know, sometimes I remember I was talking to this dude on, going back and forth, and you talk to men different than you talk to women. Not necessarily that I was trying to pick up somebody, but certain things that you would say if you're having a conversation with a woman, you wouldn't say it if you're having a conversation with a man. So this man now, depend a profile where I don't know if he took his girl's profile or what, but me thinks I mean I talk to a pretty girl, I'm there talk, and the way that I was talking, kind of find out I was talking to a dude. So I've been very careful ever since that. And I've had it happen vice versa, where it was a female that was using her man's account. And me I deal with her like, yeah, me as a dog and them thing there. And she was like, SouFLo, you're talking to me rough, but this is my man's account. And she actually told me that it was her. So be careful with these names. All right. I'm freezing. That well, I can't do nothing about that. Yes, snowfall is back. Snowfall is back. Somebody, Unstoppable Josh said, I'm freezing. I'm not freezing on my end. Yo, stock market's crashing. Stock market's crashing. Gas price gone up. Food gone up. I've noticed there's a shortage of certain things in the grocery store. I've been noticing that for, I'm not freezing. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. SouFLo, I am female, so all is cool. All right. All right, family. Berrydale. Yeah, cause you bro, me too. Dead would laugh. All right, so which one we're gonna talk about first? You want to get into the missing youth story first, or do you want to get into this whole Ukraine thing and get it out the way first? Because people are power right now. People are saying World War. This is the opening of World War III and and all this other stuff. What is it gonna be? Come on, talk to me. You choose and I go. Which one? We're gonna talk about the war first and get it out the way. All right. The other one is pretty lengthy, and I'm telling you, your ears are gonna dip on it. So let's go to the World War III thing. So here we are. World War III it is. We already choose. We get 2, 3 missing boy, but y'all let everybody else answer war before you. So the US is allies with Ukraine, right? Everybody are saying, you must understand how politics and geopolitics works. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying, oh, the US is always all up in people's business, and why don't they just stay in their own corner and mind their own business and thing, right? Okay, well, this is how it works. You can't stand alone out here. You need allies. And unfortunately, the lines are drawn where certain countries join forces with other countries and they will stand up for those other countries if others try to attack them. So they're like, yo, you can't touch. Right now, the US was saying for the longest to Russia, yo, back up. Get your troops back off the line. You can't touch Ukraine. That's our homie, right? If you touch Ukraine, we join in. Well, Vladimir Putin does not give 2 Fs up or down. He was like, yeah, you think I'm scared of you? You think I am afraid of you? Have you not heard of the Russian gremlins? And he jumps right into Ukraine. Last night, I'm laying there. I said, let me see what's going on before I go to bed. Because I like to stay abreast with current events, and boom, it comes across explosions heard in Ukraine, and then them show a video journey on the ground, boom, boom, missiles coming in. He's hitting up Ukraine. Of course, the U.S. now jumps on, like we do, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Everybody starts going in. The President of the United States of America tweets or starts to, there will be severe consequences. We are going to sanction Russia. The world will mourn and will blame Russia for the bloodshed that's about to happen. They will look at it in a bad way. Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like this, right? I'm a senior sexy, you're a female. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying, because I went away feeling a little strange. And I appreciate that donation as well. Thank you for clarifying. So Russia just hit up Ukraine. The US, who is Ukraine's ally, is doing beer talking. I don't see no immediate response. They're doing beer talking. They're talking about sanctions. Ukraine is like, help me, please. Oh, we're getting hit. Where are you? You know, and I don't know if you know it, but Biden had just deployed a whole bunch of troops, a couple thousand troops from the US over into that region on standby, just in case anything kicked off. I guess Vladimir Putin looked at it and was like, we can take them. He did that's minor numbers. Go hit Ukraine anyways, and hit Ukraine. Now, from a person who's been in this situation before, I'm telling you right now that boots on the ground in uniform, your belly is in knots. This is where you decide, like, okay, I might not be coming home. I might not be coming home. This is getting serious. You're right there. Those troops are on the board. They're there right now. US troops are already there. They have not kicked into action yet, but they're there, right? Now, there are other troops. I don't know if you understand how the US works, but there are other troops. We do covert operations. We also do other, guerrilla warfare type stuff before so you have the main forces that go in and pound the ground and soften the ground, and then you have the Marines and the Army infantry comes in and holds the ground, and then you have support comes in to help them to hold the ground. So that's how it actually works, right? So right now we're not seeing any movement from the US, but I'm willing to bet that they're in there. Those special forces dudes are in there right now going wild, because this is what they live for. And trust me, they're excited. They are friggin' excited. You, as a civilian, you would never understand it. But I'm getting a little bit excited just talking about it, and which is kind of strange, right? Because it's war. It's war, and it's death. Give me a second. Let me go. Yo, Coco. They can't hear me. I have a habit of turning my stove on, take my tea off of the stove, and then leave the stove on. So let me check, double check to make sure I didn't do that. Okay, I can see it from the office door. The stove is off. So, yeah, this is what they live for. They're excited. They're there on the ground right now. But here's the thing: Russia is allies with China. China said if the U.S. touch Russia, they're jumping in. So it's a game of tag being played right now, right? You ever watch wrestling? It's like if you're getting beat up in the ring, you tag the homie, and the homie jumps in and help you fight. We used to watch fake wrestling before UFC started, where they actually throw real punches now. Somebody says you need to get an electric kettle. I'm fine with my pot. Smoke alarms and everything is in here. It's just my habit. I have an issue. OCD like crazy. I will lock my house door, drive down the street, and then go, did I lock the door? Did I set the alarm? and I'll drive back home, check again. I wake up in the middle of the night, I check my doors, I check my windows, even though I checked them before I went to sleep, that kind of stuff. I have issues. Everybody have them issues. Me have my issues, but we're not talking about my issues right now. Thanks for your suggestion, though. My cup, yeah, I got it for my kids for Father's Day. It's a superhero cup, a Marvel cup, right? A lot of people ask me. I was actually standing at my driveway, my cup the other day, having a cup of tea, and a kid passed by because school had let out from the another block over, and the kids were passing by, and a little kid yelled across the street. He said, "I like your cup." I said, "Thank you, man." But anyhow, people are scared right now that this is what they're saying. Russia been wanted to go to war, and China been wanted this to happen. So they just chose the weak link to kick it off, knowing that this would force the U.S. hands, right? So boy, I mean, I know if you could see World War III coming, could be, but I don't think so. So in all honesty, I'm gonna tell you, don't be too paranoid. I don't see no World War III coming. If World War III was coming, this would have escalated like way harder. Watch China putting its claws in the Caribbean under the pretense of building roads. Barbados will be the first. China been in the Caribbean though. China been in the Caribbean and been in Africa heavy for a long time now. They didn't just get there. They didn't just get there, and it's strategic. It's strategic because remember we covered this before when we used to cover sense, and what the US was more concerned about was China's was Eastern world influence on Western minds. They never said nothing about build roads and do good business with them, and we want to be the ones. We want to be the ones in Jamaica to help Jamaica to be a better place so they can remember us. That wasn't their concern. Their concern was Eastern world's influence on Western minds, them establishing themselves in the West and becoming more influential than the US is in the West. That's what they were concerned about. So it was all about influence to them. Everywhere here have a Chinatown. Everywhere here has a Chinatown. And yeah, that's how the Chinese move. World War III will not be like this. It will be more of a cyber warfare. It's a different world we living in. There's so many different tools to use now to fight war. It could be boots on the ground, but that will just be a small part of it. The length of the war will be, you're absolutely right. Um, Kitty Joy. Kitty Joy Empress says World War III will not be like this. It will be more of a cyber warfare. And you're absolutely right. Not even just cyber warfare, it'll be more covert operations than anything else, like people flying into your country undetected, or flying into your country under the pretense of being, like some espionage spy stuff where you see in movies. Yeah, a lot of those movies, they were actually softening us up for the reality of what will actually happen, right? So people come in, do them thing and fly out and that kind of stuff, hitting direct targets and stuff like that. And then you have technology, of course, which is going to play a very large part in it. Let's not forget, we've seen earthquakes and tsunamis hit places that never had earthquakes and tsunamis before, or does not have a history, suddenly start having problems with earthquakes. And it's easy to blame that on global warming and the global shifting, and there's more water, ice, glaciers are melting, and all this stuff. But there's technology out there that can fight wars without putting troops on the ground. And they're going to be using all of that, right? They're not gonna be using all of that. We're the people, we're just the pawns. We're just the pawns. These big figurehead world leaders, they're in their disagreements behind the scene. They take it to war, and we pay the price. That's it. If you're to ask me where I stand on all this, I want to know something. Because I woke up this morning and I looked at a lot of the people that I follow, and I saw I stand with Ukraine. I stand with Ukraine. Ukraine, US. Ukraine, US. Go all the way. And I was thinking, damn, when Boko Haram ran up in those schools and took away 100 and something black girls in school uniforms, just disappear with the girl, them gone. And then later on, we found out what they were doing with them. And they did it again. And some of them are still missing. And they're still living under those conditions, right? And there's worse things even. There's been bombings in different places on African soil, on the continent, terroristic bombings by non-African entities that wanted foreign interest in that country. Boom, blow up things, blow up a university, kill off a bunch of students, and all these things. I don't see none of us saying, I stand with Nigeria, or I stand with Ghana, or I stand with Mali, or I stand with, like, we forget to stand with anything that's on the continent of Africa. The only time Africa sounds good to us is when we're criticizing about how bad things are in the West and how life not really good, yes, so because they don't like us and police shoot with them when the police asked him for driver license registration and he was unarmed. I'm telling y'all, go back to Africa, build a beautiful utopia. All that's the only time it sounds good when we're talking about Africa. But then when things happen there, though, we just look somewhere else. Like, let me find some other news to get into today because this right here ain't really doing it for me. But over here, everybody is engaged. They're like, oh shit, they hit Russia just hit Ukraine. Are we gonna go to war? I'm standing with the US. I'm this one. I stand with Ukraine. And you know, uh, 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 I saw somebody write something that says, my brothers and sisters of African descent, just go ahead and grab your popcorns, kick back, and watch the show. And please remember that this ain't your business. Mm. They went on to say, Russia has never colonized any African soil. Russia has never gone after our resources, our natural resources, has never exploited our people. Matter of fact, Russia has always been an ally and has helped to liberate certain African countries and all this other stuff. That's what they're saying. Don't take that from me because whether they're wrong or right, I don't have a choice. Y'all already know where I stand, right? And I don't have a choice. And I can't stand nowhere else. Only stupid people try to punch the person that feeds you. It's like, I'm hungry, feed me. Feed me again. That's what I would be doing if I was to say, "Oh, I'm with Russia and U.S. is bullshit." And I see a lot of idiot people doing that. And you're you're sitting on the soil, you're benefiting from everything from it. Not only that, I got I got a lot of close people that are deeply wrapped up in this. You know, we wear the uniform, we swore, we took the oath, whether you like it or not, whether you want to go into your politics or not. So my view is going to be different from your view. You can call me all whatever you want to call me. It is what it is. See? So you already know who I'm riding with, regardless. But I had to put that out there to be balanced. That somebody did put that out there, and I did read through it, and I thought, hmm. Well, my thing gone too bad already, so I'm not gonna go bad all the way down. You know, I'm riding till the wheels fall off. That's where I'm at with it, right? And that kind of crazy excitement that I feel in me is like, yo, I wish I was on deployment right now. It sounds crazy, but you wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand it. So if this thing blows all the way up, I know quite a few people that are going to be right there, front line, front and center, right? And I'm a blue cord wearer. See, that means we are what you call legs. We're what you call the backbone of the military, the infantry. We do the kicking in of the door. We do the shooting up of shit. We tear shit up when we come through, right? And we also do peace missions. Let's not get it twisted. But the job of the infantry is to fight. And we get to the fight and we take the fight to our enemies. And that's what we do. That's what we That's what I was trained to do. That's what I'm geared to do. That's what I did. And that's what my brothers that are still in service are doing. So if this whole thing kicks off, it is what it is. You go down, squeeze into the last round, but it's not going to be the kind of war that we think it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be that kind of war. You gotta align yourself with something and protect your interests, and that's just how life goes. You know, everybody's gonna have their opinions. I've been called all kinds of names. I saw in the Jamaican news yesterday where Jamaica is heavily on this Ukraine stuff, and I was saying to myself, like, Jamaicans don't even care about what's going on in Africa. We have Jamaicans in Africa. We have Jamaicans in Africa that are in school. We have Jamaicans in Africa that have migrated there. We have Jamaicans in Africa that are conducting business. And when anything goes down there, you don't hear it in Jamaican news. But they're heavy on this Ukraine stuff though, because there are students from Jamaica that are in Ukraine. Particularly, I was reading one story of a doctor, a youth that's studying to be a doctor, a young man. He's like 20 something years old. He's studying to be a doctor, and he said he can't leave. He wants to stay there in the Ukraine. He's fearful, but he can't leave because there are things that he has to do for his final project, and then there are exams that he has coming up. And I'm thinking missiles are about to start flying. You think what classroom are you gonna sit in to take exams? I'm sure no professor, no school is gonna be open, and they're like, hey, they're bombing, but come on, you got to get in here. You have 1 hour to complete this exam. Did you turn your project in today? It's not going to be like that. So you either get yourself to where you think is safe, you have a choice to do so, or sit there and be in the shits, right? But it's going down. It's going down. I'm actually watching it while I'm talking to you right now. And I'm watching a whole bunch of stuff blowing up and all this stuff. Looks pretty crazy. Looks pretty crazy. It's going down. Explosions, sirens are heard as Russia launches further attack on Ukraine. Vladimir Putin ain't playing. Putin says, I don't give a damn what the US say. You don't own me. You can't tell me what you know who I am. Oh, hold on, let me show you. He took 2 shots of vodka and he said, "Go." You don't own me. You can't tell me what to do. If there's anything that I know, though, I see a lot of people worried. Oh my God, we're gonna die now, and all this stuff. If there's anything that I know and I'm confident in, is U.S. military powers. Yeah, we might be goofy and all that, but when it's time to move, it ain't nothing like it. There's nothing like it. So we'll see how this one plays out. We'll see how this one plays out. But I'm telling you what, you drag us in there, it's gonna be a shit show, right? We'll see how this one works out. That's all I'm saying. All right. Somebody said Putin. What? Hold on. LMT. Let me read some of these comments real quick. John Allison. They don't care about Africa or black people anywhere. Period. Man, here's the thing about Africa and black people, and we need to do better. But you know, it's our fault. A lot of it is our fault. A lot of it is our fault. Where we stand on the totem pole is our fault. In the world ranking is our fault. How do you have all the natural resources in the world, or 90% of what the world depends on, yet still majority of your people are the most impoverished across the globe, and your resources are under foreign control? It's our fault. That's like you coming into my house and saying, I, SouFLoTV, you have to go sleep on the couch out there because I'm taking your master bedroom and I'm jumping in your pool when I feel like it. But you got to ask me if you could jump in that pool if you want to. Matter of fact, go outside and cut the lawn because it's your yard. But I'm going to lay out in the sun and enjoy the backyard. You know, it's fenced in and it's private and stuff. And like they came into your house and took all your shit and you're just sitting there. And how long are they going to do that for? Complain, complain, complain. I remember that Chinese businessman when he was being asked, and the Jewish man when they were being asked. I remember two things. The Jewish man said, "Well, they want jobs. We'll give them jobs, lots of jobs." And he described them as people as cattles. And he said, "Well, you know what we do with cattles." And I thought to myself, "Oh shit." The perception of their cattle is we are God's chosen. You know what we do with cattle. The Chinese man, when they asked them, "So where does the black man stand?" Because he said, "Our beef is with the white man. And in time, we will surpass him in every way." Whoever is calling me, let me hook the phone up real quick to the speaker and get to you. When they asked about us, he said we're insignificant. The black man, they're nowhere. They're neither here nor there. Like, and I was like, but we're not. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo. How you doing?
All right, here we go. Thank you.
Yes. I was thinking about this morning when I heard about the whole bombing. And we have in these kind of things, in these world events and world conversations, we have the white man, we have the China man, we have the Arab man, and the black man is missing from the conversation. And we have to really look at that as Black people when we are out of the conversation when it comes to big boy stuff. You know what I mean? We focus on the wrong things. That's how you said certain things is our fault. We oversaturated in sports, we're oversaturated in entertainment, and we're oversaturated in foolishness.
Facts.
We really are. And we really should be looking at ourselves. And even as, I'm not to call out black men in a bad way, but as black men, look at, as a group, look at yourself. All the other men are at the table, and you're not there. You're not even considered.
Not even considered, and they said it. Yeah, they said it out loud when asked in an interview. One of the world leaders was the Chinese one. He said when they said, "So what about the black man?" And he said, he's insignificant. He's neither here nor there."
Neither here nor there. That's true.
And when he said it like that, he could have been like, "Oh, they're not really a threat, but he made it a point to say, they're insignificant. They're neither here nor there. I was like, damn.
Yeah. And look at it. And this is why we get so wrapped up in our own little worlds. We don't look at things from a global scale and where we are globally as a people.
Right.
We're the original people. We're the first people on the planet. We've been here the longest. And we are not even thought of. We're invisible.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, right now where we stand, black man, you're not at the table.
Not at the table at all.
It's embarrassing. It's shame, but you're not at the table. But what you can be at the table of is your community and of your family. Start there.
That's a start.
That's a start. And if you can do that.
And you know what? Sorry to cut you off, but you know what you just said right there? With your community and your family, guess what? That's where others started, and that's where their strong point is. Yes. Damn.
So you know what I'm saying? But you got to start there and focus on that and build that for generations to come. Because the way I see us right now, we were great, we fell, we were enslaved, we're in this kind of stagnant position, but we're declining, going right back to slavery.
Yep.
That's where we're going right now.
Happily too.
Say it again?
Happily too.
Happily too.
Yeah.
Going back to slavery.
Happily.
You know what I'm saying? The black parents, your child can be in sports, but this heavy focus on sports. We don't need no more sports people. We need people signing checks. We don't need our children and this and that having owners and being traded like slaves. We need to focus on what's coming next. Coding, get your children in coding classes. Science, technology, we need black doctors. I only go to black doctors. I don't mess with nobody else. Unless I absolutely have to, I can go in the emergency room. Right. But there aren't enough. This is what we need. We don't need no more entertainers. We don't need no more court gestures. That's what the entertainers are. So you have the big boys at the table, and our people are the court gestures. That's why we're insignificant, because we're the court gesture in the empire right now.
Call them
we don't need no more. We oversaturate that market.
True.
Even owns the market, we need to survive. But we don't even own it. We don't own our own music. We don't. It's our culture. Even though making a Bob Marley movie, they want to show some British guy to be, because we don't have no ownership. Right. We are seen as something to come pick and pluck from, and people move on and go do what they do. And without a second thought, all of us. So we have to change that. We change it with our children. Even investing. I don't know if people know about something called compound interest. Go and type in compound interest. All right, how that works. If you invest small amounts of money now, it will grow. Even if it's $5 a day or it's $100 a month, you'll be amazed how $100 a month, by the time your child, if you're a young child, by the time you're in 20 years, by the time your child is 20 or 25, you can have over $40,000 or $50,000 or $80,000 check to your kid. Even though maybe over that time you've only invested, let's say $20,000 over that small time, the compound interest is exponential. Go and look up compound interest. Go and look it up, and how to use a compound interest calculator. We need to start thinking about these things, because we're moving into a generation. All these little small jobs that's going on, they're going to be gone. We have to stop being employees. We have to start being people who come to the table with capital, who come to the table not just with great ideas, but able to finance our great ideas, so we can move our children to the next level, so we can stop being the servants in somebody else's court. That's what we need. So that's what we have to focus on. So all of this other foolishness, how we love to major in, we have to stop it. We don't have time.
While you here,
right now, everybody else is having conversation, and we're not even considering
for the longevity. While you're here, let me say this before you go and I forget. The difference with them and us is this. It seems like majority of us think about just here and now, and we act like, majority of us act like this thing starts and ends with us. Like it starts and ends with me, SouFLo. And what ends up happening is we leave the next generation to start from scratch again, right? You heard me talk about paying it forward before and building generational wealth and all that other stuff, right? Putting the future generations in position of power. We still have not grasped the importance of doing that yet, right? We still easily deconstruct our own families. We still easily give up on stuff that others fight the fight to maintain in order to build to another level. We still don't understand as a people yet. Some of us do, but majority of us seem like we're not on that ball yet, right? You think, oh, it starts with me and ends with me. Live a good life. Live a happy life. LOL. What's the other one? YOLO. You only live once. You know, do it while you're here, and then you're gone, and all those that come after you continue to become somebody's footstool, while the others, their seeds continue to rise in power from generation to generation to generation. And they see stuff that, like I can tell you, the Chinese people see stuff way ahead. They don't look at 10, 20 years. They look way ahead. We look at just our lifespan. And that's it. And that's a big issue for us. You're talking facts. And I see in the comment section where people are like, next caller, next caller. Well, that's the problem with us also right there. As soon as somebody comes, right, that's going to wake you up a little bit, your spirit gets crossed and you're immediately turned off. And my ears locked off. You know why? You're the foolishness of shit talk. Somebody else call, please. Next caller, next caller. I bet you if I was talking about Lady Saw Dog bite up the help on all this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 1,500 people here and all ears up and everybody on deck, but that's what you just addressed.
Right. Yeah. So I want to say to the people, I'm gonna come off, so as you said, the next caller can come on. However, one more thing I'm gonna say. Are you raising your children to compete in a global market? Are you raising your children to compete with Chinese children and Indian children and Arab children? Are you raising them to be competitive, intellectually, financially competitive, not to be in a position where they're doing GoFundMe because you never had life insurance, because you never had your things in order, so you're putting your children again in the same position to start fresh. This is why we continue to be at the bottom. This is why we're not at the table. Nobody cares what we think and what we say. So while everybody lock out, put your ear back on for that piece, and I'm gonna come off now.
Big up yourself. Thank you. Yeah, man. So we continue to, strangle ourselves and then continue to blame other people like we don't have anything to do with it. We're not at the table. And I see somebody say, oh, me wouldn't want necessarily be at that table. We're talking about that global table of power, right? Where the power hitters are at. We're not there. So people speak for us all the time. So when war go on, we unite and we're where they place us to be. And that's it. And we don't have a choice. It's like the rope is around our neck and they pull us where they want us to go. And we don't have a say as in, ain't no rope around my neck. This is what it is. And we right here. Where's our power for that? It's not there. Okay. So when we listen, live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm hearing you and the young lady talking about, wealth and generational wealth and whatnot. I totally agree with her. But these are sometimes the news that we don't hear about. I got this. I saw this article yesterday on Reuters, and the business article, and it says Nigeria takes J.P. Morgan to court for $1.7 billion over oil deal.
Okay.
All right. So I don't want us to think that as Black people, as governments, as people in the diaspora, just sitting down and just taking.
But okay, Nigeria
we are being empowered.
Listen, Nigeria takes who to court?
J.P. Morgan.
J.P. Morgan. Do you know who J.P. Morgan is?
Yeah, the bank.
Okay.
Financial institution.
Okay.
American bank.
Right. Which court?
British court.
Right. What do you think the outcome of that is going to be? Likely.
Let's see.
Why do you think they had to take them to court? Over whose resources?
Well, basically, J.P. Morgan reneged on the deal and payments were not doled out to the Nigerian government or Nigerian oil company.
Listen.
Because I know most Nigerian oil companies are state-owned.
Africa is a continent, right? Let me show you something.
But we're not talking about Africa here, we're talking about Nigeria.
But Nigeria
is
in Africa.
54 countries in Africa.
Yeah, but Nigeria is in Africa. So I have to talk about Africa. I'm saying Africa is a continent within itself, right? That can do business void of the entire rest of the world and empower that whole continent.
But that's not how business is done. You need foreign investors.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do, SouFLo.
You don't.
What does the technological
what does Africa need?
Even the data governance, how to run stuff. For example, I'm a Trinidadian. I'm sure you catch your accent by now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They just found oil in Guyana. Okay? Who do you think are going to be most of the technical workers working on those projects in Guyana? Until in the next 15 to 20 years, when they get up to par, where basically they are training their own locals to work in that kind of industry.
We in Guyana.
That talent, yes, that talent is going to be coming from Trinidad and Tobago.
We in Guyana now. We was in Africa. Let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah, but I'm showing you a correlation here.
But there isn't.
You can listen to me. We're not talking about an economy in the 19th or 18th century when everything was insular.
You went from a whole continent, right, to a slave yard. You want to be real. You went from a whole continent to a slave yard. Because that's what Jamaica is, that's what Guyana is, that's what Trinidad is, that's what all that stuff, like Chronic say, capture land is capture land. It's some like a slave yard these little countries are. That now put it like that, yes. I was hurting my feelings when I had to admit that that's what it is. Come on, our head of state in Jamaica is still the Queen of England. But I'm saying, let's go back to Africa real quick. Let me finish that up. We don't need in Africa. Africa does not need anything from the outside world. Africa has told themselves that they need things from the outside world and has allowed others to come in and play in their own backyard, smiling with them for whatever reasons and their trinkets they brought until the enemy got into the house and took over the whole house.
Think about it from this perspective, and I'm bringing, and the reason why I use Guyana as an example is because in all of the Caribbean countries, and not Caribbean countries, all of the CARICOM member states, the richest CARICOM member state is Guyana. You're rich when it comes to natural resources. But you have 3/4 of Guyanese nationals don't live in Guyana. That's brain drain. Technical support, data-driven input and output, skilled labor.
I want to bet you money. I want to bet you money right now that there are Guyanese who can, just like in Jamaica, there are bright minds on the ground that can do all these things. The government there will not invest in them.
You need proper infrastructure in order to make things happen.
All right,
and
keep telling yourself
unfortunately,
that.
sometimes you need foreign investment.
Well, keep telling yourself that. It's a big game. Keep telling yourself. That's exactly what they want you to think. As long as I think that I have to come to your house for food, I will always be dependent on you. As long as I think that I always need you to help me to get further ahead or to better myself, I will always be dependent on you. But watch the funny part though. They don't think they need you for anything.
They're the sharks in the pond.
They don't think they need you for anything.
They're the sharks in the pond.
So keep thinking that that's how it goes, and that's the proper way of thinking. We will always be subservient. That right there.
All right, but let's look out for the end result of this case, with Nigeria actually being, as they would say, probably bold to take JP Morgan to task and hold them to task.
Okay, we'll pay attention to that. All right, thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. But I just love that Trini accent, boy. She was distracting me. But I'm telling you, we don't need, listen, that is exactly the mindset right there. That right there. We need. I'll go back to a big example. When the pandemic kicked off, and I watched these brilliant minds, young minds in Jamaica came up with and made our own stuff as far, we're running out of ventilators, and if anything goes down, it's only the people who has real money or whatever can, so you better mask up and you better stay inside and you better this and you better that, because they're going to give it to somebody else, and we don't have enough of these to go around, and we're buying expensive ones from overseas. And the youth them put them head together and came up and made it a prototype, a model, and friggin' worked it in front of us and showed us that it works. And then that was the last we heard from them until now, when the pandemic is fading away. The minds are there. Ask yourself why we're not investing in the brightest minds in our countries, right? So again, keep thinking that, because that's exactly how they want you to think. You always need them. You always need them. You always need them. All right. If you want to think like that, then that's on you. King Selassie says, same way, the greedy politicians are the problem. Yes, in most of these places. And the people that allow themselves to be brainwashed to the point where they don't hold them accountable. They just continue to elect the same fool people to lead them, and they continue to lead them down the wrong path and lead them astray, while they fatten their own bank accounts in offshore settings, and they're able to afford the best of everything for their bloodline, and they empower their bloodline to reach the upper echelons of society for generations to come, right? While you sit on there and suffer. You in poverty, you barely keep head above water. Most likely your children and grandchildren will do the same, and your great-grand and great-great-grand will do the same. Not just the poor people, I gotta be the poor people for generations to come, while they enrich themselves off of you. Is wickedness, and it comes from our own who are trusted to lead. And it comes from us who want to be blinded and caught up in foolishness instead of paying attention to what's really taking place. You know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, Russia bombed Ukraine, and they're in there now, and they're getting it in. And if the U.S. goes in there, I'm gonna be on the sideline unless they call me, and I'm gonna be on the side of my popcorn like this, because I know ain't nothing coming to U.S. soil. Nothing's coming to U.S. soil. A lot of people who talk foolishness, right, about U.S. military, but you live in the U.S. You see war break out here? Do you see anybody encroaching upon us and in like, oh, Russia is heading into Ukraine. Oh, they just bombed Ukraine. It started. I bet you won't hear nobody say, oh, China is heading into the US. Oh, they just bombed the US and it started. We will level that, level it, wipe it off the map, and start over again. I'm just saying. But so I'm gonna be here with my popcorn and I'm gonna be watching this whole thing unfold. Okay? And I saw it go. Believe that. Now, we've done 30 minutes on this topic. See, I think we took a lot out of this. I want to get into the missing youth because this is going to be very interesting for you to hear. I want to get into the missing youth thing, and I need all the time. Them bump them poor head. We'll all be gone. Nuclear. Listen, this thing right here ain't getting. You can't hurt this just like that and just walk up. There's certain things I can't say, right? There's certain things I can't say, and I won't say it, but you can read between the lines. Just read between the lines and know what side you on. That's all I'm gonna say. Just know what side you on. That's it. All right. Let's move along and move into the other topic, which is what happened to Decorrius Jones. I feel the same way America could have been one of the most powerful people if they didn't hold black people back. Well, America is still one of the most powerful, even with holding black people back. Yeah, and another thing is this: we have black people that are in high positions of power that do not relate to that hold back talk. Remember that too. You make names up for them. You call them the bougie niggas or Negroes. You call them the Bole Association. You call them all kinds of names, but they don't relate. They relate to strap up your boots and go get it and put yourself in a position of power, no excuses, and that's it. Right? All right. I don't want to take any more calls pertaining to this. I want to focus on this subject that we're about to talk about now. We have 30 minutes to do it, and that's probably barely enough time. So let's get into this. So the headline says, and shout out to the subscriber that sent me this. I just saw it this morning and I thought, I was going to talk about something else. I have to talk about this because, again, I'm a father of 6, and sometimes you don't know what your children are going to be getting into. And it's heartbreaking to see them get into certain things when you can't rescue them. You know, sometimes when I drive down the road, right, and I look at like a pretty female who's out here prostituting herself, I don't look at her and say, damn, she's sexy, she a prostitute. No, I look at her and I say, where's her dad? Imagine if her dad was somebody like me and how I am with my daughter, and then to see her like that years down the road. You know what I'm saying? You remember the days when you used to change our diaper. You remember all the stuff you instilled in her. You remember loving her up. You remember them little hugs she used to give you and squeeze up your neck and everything. And now she is just out, off on drugs that's out of her mind. I've seen crazy stuff in the streets. I've seen people having sex like out in the middle of the open. Man just come up and pull down them pants. Homeless man just come up and pull down him pants and drop in him hood in a woman where just spread out in our road. So, and she's there like she enjoying it. But she's high out of her mind. And when he was done with it, the next man pick her up and I carry her on the corner because him want some privacy if you do what him do too. Could you imagine if your daughter turned out like that, right? At certain point, it goes beyond their control once they let certain things into their life. So you teach, you protect, but at some point you have to let go, and then stuff like this happen. So in this particular case now the headline says, and it's printed on the Vivid Faces. It's from Lawrenceville, Georgia. The headline says, a man thought to be high on acid attacked his girlfriend and his mom, then vanished into the woods. Where is Decorrius Jones? And this was brought up again a couple of days ago. So listen up. On October 15th, I got to get in character for this because I got to bring you into this. On October 15th of 2016, Decorrius Brando Jones got a ride to Walmart from his mother, Shakora. During their ride to the store, the 20-year-old Decorrius told his mother something. He told Shakora that he was experimenting with acid. Mom, I'm experimenting with acid. He told her that the acid opens up his mind and made him see things clearer. His mom said, quote unquote, you don't need to fool with that, baby, because number one, you don't know what to take. This stuff affects people differently. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, is what he said. I understand. I'm thinking it's something that he tried, he experimented with, and it was going to be over. I never knew that it would get to this extent. Now, later on that evening, Decorrius picked up his girlfriend, 18-year-old Dayona Horton, picked her up job at Papa John's Pizza. Decorrius and Dayona were high school friends who dated and became sweethearts in Lawrenceville, Georgia. He was just a sweet person all around. He was very soft-spoken. He was a very, very caring person. He was a very genuine person. That evening, Dayona noticed that there was something different about Decorrius. On the ride home, Decorrius started demanding that Dayona look him in his eyes directly. Look me in my eyes when you're talking to me, he shouted. Dayona was shocked because Decorrius had never spoken to her in this way before. Dayona looked away from Decorrius, which caused him to become even more angry, and the couple argued during the 10-minute drive to their home at Sugarloaf Crossing Apartments. When Decorrius parked the car, he attempted to pull Dayona across the console in the car. Dayona struggled with Decorrius. She got out of the car and she ran full speed up the sidewalk, up the steps, into their apartment. Decorrius caught her and threw her over his shoulder. Once the couple got inside the apartment, he opened the door. Once the couple got inside the apartment, he threw her down on the couch. Tell me that you're not afraid of anyone but God and your mom, because I'm not afraid of anyone but God and my mom, he shouted at her. What are you talking about? She asked him. My mother is a god, and I'm not afraid of anything, Decorrius said. Finally, if you call me one more time, I'm going to block you and you will never be able to call me again. Stop the foolishness. All right. You know what I'm talking about. This person, I mean, come on now. You see me reading through the thing. Why are you caught? Okay. There you go. You definitely getting blocked. Dayona finally gave in and told Decorrius what he wanted to hear. She knows Decorrius was experimenting with acid, but she realized that he was high, otherwise known as he was tripping. Decorrius accused Dayona of lying, and he began choking her as they sat on the couch. Dayona pleaded with him to let me go, please let me go, I can't breathe, I'm afraid, please let me go, I will leave if you just let me go. Live 11 reports that Decorrius screamed at Dayona, get out, get out. Dayona was able to get to the door where Decorrius caught her, pushed her to the ground, and started choking her again at the door as she was trying to leave after he told her get out. It was like I saw a demon in his face, honestly. It looked like something inhuman, is what she told the news reporter. Dayona was able to get away, so she ran down the staircase and she looked for a place to hide. While she was running, she had her phone with her, and while she was running, she dialed 911. And this is how the 911 call went. Dayona says, hello. 911 says, that County 911, what's going on there? 911, where are you, ma'am? Dayona, I'm at 1595 Old Norcross Road. 911, okay, calm down so I can understand you. Why are you crying? Dayona says, because my boyfriend and I just got into an argument and he's going fucking crazy right now. I don't know what's wrong with him. 911 said, what exactly is he doing? Dayona said, he's grabbing me. He's fucking holding me down. He's trying to tell me to open my mind. He keeps telling me that the devil has taken over me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's holding me down, but he's literally holding me down. The 911. Okay, where is he now? Dayona, he's upstairs. He's taking all my shit out of the house. He's telling me that I need to get out because I'm trying to protect myself. And I'm fucking scared. 911. Quit yelling, okay? Take a deep breath for me. Can you make yourself safe and go into another room? Dayona, I'm outside. I can't go back in there. He's going crazy. 911 reporter. When you say he's going crazy, what exactly is he doing? This 911 reporter needs to be fired. Anyways, you said he's going crazy. What exactly is he doing? Dayona, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's hitting me. He's grabbing me. He keeps holding me down like something's wrong with him. I keep telling him to let me go because I can't breathe. And he keeps holding me down like he doesn't care. Didn't she say that already though? 911. Okay. What does he look like? Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, what? Dayona. He's black and he's tall. 911. What's his name? Dayona. Decorrius Jones. She tried catching her breath in between sobs and sniffles because she was crying heavily as she was making the 911 call. 911 call monitor operator. Okay, he's in the house now? Dayona, yes. 911, can you get into the car or hide somewhere? Dayona, no, I'm sitting outside. He hasn't come outside yet. 911, what's your name? Dayona says, my name is Dayona. 911, what's your last name, Dayona? Dayona says, Horton, Horton. When a patrol car arrived at the scene, Dayona was too afraid to come out of hiding and flag them down. So she called Shakora. When Shakora arrived, which is his mother, when Shakora arrived, a terrified Dayona met her outside the apartment. Decorrius rushed over to his mother as soon as he saw her. It's the girlfriend that called the mom from hiding, right? She was too afraid to come out. When he saw his mom pull up, he rushed down and ran straight to his mom. And he said, Mom, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. She's the devil. She's the devil. She's the devil. She's the devil, Decorrius said. Shakora told Dayona to get in her vehicle while she talked to Decorrius. 10 minutes passed. Dayona began to fear, so the mom told the girlfriend, get in the vehicle, let me talk to my son. 10 minutes had passed. She stood there talking to her son. Dayona began to fear for the safety of Shakora. She knocked on the apartment door. Shakora opened the door and told her to wait a minute on the stairs outside. While outside, Dayona, which is the girlfriend, could hear Decorrius and his mom in there, Shakora, yelling at each other. Things are escalating inside. Then, according to 11 Alive, Dayona overheard Shakora saying, Decorrius, I thought you would never hurt me. I thought you would never hurt me. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Dayona burst through the door and found Decorrius violently choking his mother on the ground. So she started yelling at him, what are you doing? What are you doing? Decorrius turned, looked at Dayona, his girlfriend, and lounged at her. Dayona took off running and called 911 again. Shakora, which is the mom, now got up, raced out of the apartment, drove across the street to a Shell gas station. She left her cell phone in the apartment. Decorrius and Dayona shared, so she used a phone at the gas station to call 911. According to 811 Live, the following is the 911 call now from the mother. 911, Gwinnett County 911, what's the location of your emergency? Shakora, the mom. I need a police car out here, Sugarloaf Crossing Apartments on Old Norcross. Shakora, my son, I think he's on something. He done jumped on me. I had to run out of the house. I left my phone in the house. I left. He was chasing his girlfriend. I think he's on something. Shakora, I'm at the gas station up the street. I had to run with no shoes on, ma'am. Could you please send somebody out here? 911. What does he look like? Shakora, he's a tall black guy. Please don't kill him. He can, you can stun him, but please don't kill him. 911. You said this is your son? Shakora, this is my son. Yes, he's about 6'2", 6'3". He weighs about 225 to 230 pounds. Shakora, please tell them don't kill him. Just stun him if you have to, but don't kill him, please. 911. Okay. Shakora, please tell them don't kill him. I think he's on something. He done got something from somebody. He's on something. He was trying to force something into my mouth, trying to bite me. Then he hit me in my head. 911. Stay on the phone with me, okay? Shakora, I'm really afraid for my life. 911. I do have units on the way to you, okay? Just stay on the phone. Shakora, ma'am, please. I don't want nothing to happen to this child. I don't want him to go to prison, but I knew he was on something. Oh my God. He said he's trying to get the devil out of me. Dayona, barefooted and with a swollen lip, met Shakora. Mother and the girlfriend meet up again at the gas station. The Gwinnett County Police Department arrived on the scene for the second time. When they made their way to the apartment, every window was open and there was no sign of Decorrius. Officers searched the woods behind Sugarloaf Crossing Apartments, but they were unable to locate Decorrius. He has never been seen again since. His mother, Shakora, filed a missing report on Decorrius. And this is from October of 2016. A warrant for 2 counts of battery and false imprisonment was issued for his arrest. Investigators and his family have continued to search for Decorrius. There have been 0 leads in his disappearance and no family contact for him whatsoever. He didn't call no cousin, no uncle, no nothing. A specialized cadaver search, you know, when they come out with the dogs and the experts and the diving experts digging into the lakes around the area, was conducted on November 15th of 2017, utilizing special canines and experts. After hours of searching, no evidence of Decorrius was found. In my mind, I'm like, this is the type of stuff that I see on Lifetime, on TV. This is not happening to me right now. They only told 11 alive. It would have been the last thing I would have expected from him, just knowing him and just knowing his personality. I knew that it was drugs. It had to have been. And it took his mind, definitely. Now nobody knows where he is. There is currently a $5,000 reward for any information that can lead to his whereabouts or anything that has anything to do with him. He just disappeared off the map. Do you think that he's dead? The reporter asked the mom, and she says, no, I do not. I don't feel in no way, shape, or form or fashion that he's dead. Shakora told 11 alive. I just feel like he's somewhere out there, not in his right mind, but I feel that in time, he will get back to his right mind and he will come back home to us when he's more like himself. Decorrius Brandon Jones was 6 feet 3 inches tall, according to his ID, and he weighed 250 pounds when he vanished. If you have any information, please contact the Gwinnett County Police Department, and that is where it ended on that story. What do you think happened? What do you think happened? I think the girlfriend, first of all, should have said from the beginning, the first 911 call, my boyfriend up here tweaking. He bugging. He's on acid. He's experimenting with some drugs and it's messing up his mind. I think she said that first. The first time the police came, she didn't come out of hiding wherever she was, locked in a car or hiding behind some bushes because she was too afraid that he would come rushing out the apartment. And she was right, because when she called his mom and his mom pulled up, he flew out the apartment, down the steps, and went to his mom, grabbed his mom up, right, and started telling his mom, she's the devil, she's a devil, she's a liar. Like that. His mom took him back into the apartment. Come on, Decorrius, come inside, let me talk to you. You know how moms are, right? And especially that it gets sensitive because you're talking about a young black male that is pretty big. 6'3", 250. That's a big dude, right? If they send two little white police officers over there, the first thing they're going to think is shoot. Aim, shoot, neutralize the threat. We're in danger. And I've seen that happen too many times before, where, a black person has a psychotic break, and you're like, damn, they could have hit him with bean bags, they could have used water hose, they could have used, like they do with white people, they use every resource in the book. They run from them. I've seen one chasing the police around the car with a sword, and he's like, I'm gonna chop the shit out you, motherfucker. And the police is like with his gun, and then he put the gun down and ran. Somebody sent me another video. A young white youth was losing himself, and the police actually got close enough to him, and he stabbed the police and took off running. And the police chased him with his gun in his hand and had the composure to put the gun away, pull out the taser, and say, I'm going to tase you, and tase them. This is after he stabbed the police, but we don't get that kind of love. We don't get that kind of treatment when they come. Once they hear black male, worse, once they hear 6'2", all hands on deck. It's about to get violent. So that's why she kept begging, please don't kill him. Please don't kill him, ma'am. Could you tell them please not to kill him? Please, if you have to tase him or something, but please don't kill him. Sad. That's the same drug that somebody invited me to take a part of. Remember I told y'all that they asked me, you want to come to the park with us and drop some acid? Remember I told y'all that? And I was like, what is that? Because I was naive as hell. At this point, I was pretty young and not too long had left Jamaica to live in the US, and could have easily been like, yeah, because when we, in the era of the time that I came to the US, we were shunned by all the others. Like our Black American brothers and sisters weren't that nice to us. They used to make a lot of fun of us. My mom used to shop trying to be thrifty. So she would shop at like Payless Shoe Store. So I would get Ikes and not Nikes, and that type of stuff like that. They would come out in their name brands. They would make fun of us all day. So the little white kids they didn't care about name brands and all that. They used to click up, right? And they used to be cool to us. So they used to be like, you want to come with us to the park after school or whatever? And I kind of like, explain to me what it does. I thank God that I had the sense to say, explain to me what it does. Because when she said, yo, yesterday, and we dropped the tab, and yesterday, and the trees were chasing us, and we started running around the park, and the grass was like wavy. So I'm like trying to run on the wavy grass. And I was like, nah, I'm okay. I don't want that. Could have fallen victim to that stuff. But nothing like that ever interests me. That I don't want to be out of my mind to where I feel like the ceiling is getting low. So I'm sitting in my chair doing like this when the ceiling isn't moving. The walls are closing in. I can't breathe. So I'm trying to push walls apart when the walls are not moving. That's the effect of acid. It's a hallucinogenic, a very powerful drug, right? And apparently he told his mom earlier that he was experimenting with it, and it opens his mind. I think when he was telling his mom that in the car, he was on it right then. Because be for real, you ain't telling your black mom or black parents, especially your mom, but you experimenting with drugs, just casually, just say, yeah, yeah, mom, I'm experimenting with this drug called acid, and you know, it opens my minds to see. Not my mother. My mom would have done that car would have made a hard left on a street where no left turns are allowed. You know what I'm saying? So I found that weird that he told her that, and she was just like, well, baby, you know, that type of stuff, you don't know what to take, and it affects people differently. Just be careful, kind of thing, right? Boy, I don't know. We got 5 minutes left on here. Not China has openly supported Russia. Sanctions will not work. All right, them still up on the Russia China thing. You can talk about Russia and China all day, but ain't nothing you can do about it. Just go get your popcorn and sit back and watch the show. All right, all you can do is talk about it some more, and that's all you're gonna do. All right, be careful of your kids though. That's the message I want to leave out here, and watch your family members. Right, people are trying all kinds of stuff. Also, watch yourself. I've told you before. There's a documentary I was watching about a youth that went to Jamaica and somebody gave him a cup of tea, and he has never been sane since. Sometimes people go into these trips and they go way in to where they're psychologically damaged for life, right? Something like mushrooms, the hallucinogenic mushrooms, they can be that, and you can go on a long trip that turned into a bad trip that messed up your mind. There are people out here who have had fun trips and they actually enjoy tripping. I'm not one of them. But a lot of these things are odorless and tasteless. So it's easy to slip it into your drink, put it in a cup of tea, put it in a juice, put it in whatever you're consuming, and you will be nonetheless wiser. All you will remember is, I don't know, your new reality. And your new reality will be a psychotic reality, right? So be careful out there. And what can I say about this young man? I don't know if he's dead or not. I don't want to leave the parents hopeless if anybody is watching that knows them. If his mom says she don't feel it, she don't think he is, he could be somewhere on Skid Row in California hiding out amongst the homeless because he's afraid to come back and face those two charges. Those are two serious charges, by the way, right? False imprisonment is more like kidnapping. And then there's what else charged? 2 counts of assault and battery and all that. He probably doesn't want to face those. He probably doesn't want to go to jail or prison or whatever. And he's hiding out. Who knows? But he made a good escape, and they have never heard from him since. And that was in 2016, and we're in 2022. So he was, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Still young. Still young. I hope they find him, and I hope he's okay when they find him. That's all I got to say on that one, right? Oh my God. I know she must be devastated what's going on with him. Yeah, his mommy. And you know, mothers are like that when it comes to their children, right? It's deep. It's deep. England was no like that. We are government love. All right, so this brings us to the end of the live this morning. Big up for yourself. Thank you for tuning in, and appreciate you being here. And we will catch up later. I don't know why my comment section stopped and it's frozen. My comment section is frozen. Okay, there it is. It starts working now. And it's stuck again. All right, so the comment section is freezing, so I can't see anybody comments except for the ones that are frozen on the screen. I want to think it's because he had people in America need to stop stooping in other people's affairs. Byron Dennison, I already told you what that was about, man. It's not snooping into people's affairs. Understand how this thing works. It's allies, right? If I'm your friend and I'm sworn to jump in a fight, if you get in a fight, if your enemies attack you, and then I don't, and I watch you get beat down, what kind of a friend am I? So understand how the thing works. It's not snooping into people's affairs. They didn't go over there to pick this up. Anyhow, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I'm out. Peace. And this is one of those cases where the live can't even be cut off. Crazy. So I'm trying to end this live, and the live won't even end. There goes YouTube again. 50 tries.